With my roundtable, joining me for the first time actually this morning, President of the Center for American Progress, Neera Tanden. Republican strategist Alex Castellanos is here as well. The mayor of Atlanta, Democrat Kasim Reed is here, and senior advisor for the Mitt Romney presidential campaign, as you see me coming into frame there, Kevin Madden. Welcome to all of you. So Kasim Reed, Mayor Reed, you see the economic reports. You're down in Atlanta, but you're also around the country advocating on behalf of this president. Was this a low moment for the campaign, a jobs report like this that really puts this on the territory, on the terrain that Mitt Romney wants to fight on?
I don't think it will be at the end of the day. We all knew this was going to be tough. But when I watched the comments from the governor of Ohio, I think that the slogan that Mitt Romney rolled out, where they mispronounced or misspelled the name American, said Mercia, it really should be amnesia, because these folks have amnesia. When you talk about Barack Obama's economic record, he's created 4.2 million jobs, 27 straight months of growth. Folks don't have any conversation in all of this debate about the 2 wars President Bush funded and put them on a credit card. They're not talking about the expansion of health care. They're not talking about the fact that we lost 8 million jobs going into this president's leadership. And to have an entire conversation without putting those facts on the table is really stunning to me. And then not to add Mitt Romney's own record, going from 36th to 47th in job creation. Everything he said about what a wonderful job he would do because of his experience he said in Massachusetts. And the fact of the matter is, it didn't happen in Massachusetts.
Well, Kevin, man, pick up on that, because that was a point that came up in the debate between the governors. Similar circumstances, and Romney did not deliver as governor, did he, in the way he says he would taking over for President Obama?
We have to remember, Governor Romney came into office, there was a $3 billion deficit in Massachusetts.
Similar to what this president has faced.
And he wiped away that deficit. We were 50, as Governor Kasich alluded to before, 51st in job creation. And when he had left office, he had advanced the state to 30th. So he had advanced it 20 places on that particular list. 40,000 net jobs created, thousands of jobs created over the term of his office. And I think what he did was he came in and changed the culture of the way Massachusetts was not working. And everything that Governor Romney has done, whether it's been the Olympics, whether it's been as governor, whether it's been in the private sector as a businessman, he has helped turn around malfunctioning organizations. And nothing is as big a malfunctioning organization right now, and I think the American people agree, as Washington, D.C. We have to change the way our outlook is, and we get back to a more optimistic outlook as it relates to creating jobs in this country. And I think that is something where the American people have felt really let down by President Obama. He promised to change the culture of Washington. He promised to put the economy back on track. He's failed on both of those.
All right, so what do we see this week? We saw dueling stunts, really. You had the president's campaign in the person of David Axelrod, his senior campaign advisor, talking about the Romney record in Massachusetts. Contrast that with Mitt Romney out at the failed green energy plant Solyndra, which went belly up even after some government intervention. And this was the exchange this week.
Romney economics didn't work then, and it won't work now.
Well, you can see that it's a symbol of something very different today. It's a symbol not of success, but of failure.
Neera, is this the campaign debate that Americans have really been waiting for? Is this really shedding light on how tough the economy is and who's going to turn it around?
Look, I think Americans want a real debate on the policies, and I think that should be a debate the president welcomes, because essentially the president has put forward a real proposal to create jobs. And the problem with Mitt Romney is that it's not just where he stood, although that's important, but where he stands now. And his policies really do double down on the policies of the Bush administration. He's calling for massive tax cuts, and we know that has not worked as a strategy. And I think the challenge for Mitt Romney is also some of these debates become an issue of hypocrisy. He goes to Solyndra on Thursday, and we find out yesterday that a company precisely like Solyndra that he funded, Konarka, is going belly up on Friday. And so I think the real argument here is not only about the policies that we're pursuing, and we should have a debate on that, because it is the case that Mitt Romney is proposing solutions that have failed before and will fail again.
All right, well, we can go tit for tat here, sort of on ideological grounds, but also be analytical about this. Alex, be more counterintuitive about this. If you're President Obama, Do you see a need to go more at your record and prop up the record? I mean, I do think the exchange with Kasich and Patrick is interesting. I mean, the auto bailout has helped Ohio. It's not something that Governor Kasich wants to talk about, but the Romney campaign knows that's true, and that's one of the things they're worried about in Ohio.
You know, let's just talk about the politics of it, David, as you're suggesting. Political malpractice is for the guy with the 8% unemployment rate to attack the guy with the 4.7 unemployment rate in Massachusetts. I think the Obama campaign is looking like the campaign that is trying too hard. Well, it's the wrong kind of success. It's Mitt Romney creates profits, he doesn't create jobs. And I think what that's doing is it's lessening the president. It's making him look very political. He's not only throwing, not only able not to fix the economy, throwing rocks at the people who say they have an idea. Ultimately, this president has to say, look, I'm going to take you to a better place. A president is Moses. His job is to lead the country to the promised land. And shooting the other guy who says, look, I've got a great idea, shooting him in the leg when he's trying to do that ultimately lessens the president. I was really surprised to see David Axelrod out there. You know, the front man for the government shouldn't be the political guy. It should be somebody of stature. It should have been a businessman. It should have been a governor. But it's all politics all the time, and I think it's costing the Obama administration.
I would say I think that this election actually will be about who has the best vision for the country going forward. And I think that's an area where the president should, that's a policy or a debate the president should really embrace. I do think we've spent a lot of time on the records and looking at Mitt Romney's record because he's made it a centerpiece. But I do think that the issue for both candidates is what are you going to do to move the economy forward? And it's not just a criticism, it's actually what you're going to do. And I think that should actually be welcome ground because Mitt Romney hasn't talked about his policies in the last few weeks. He's only been criticizing the president. And I think if the president actually has a debate about, you know, the policies that Mitt Romney has put forward, which are actually not just the policy of the Bush administration, but actually far to the right of those.
But do you have a problem, Mayor, with going after Bain Capital when surrogates have not stuck to the script, notably President Clinton, who's talking about a sterling business record for Governor Romney, who's offering that as his chief credential?
I don't have a problem at all. Actually, I've been amazed by it. The fact of the matter is we know about Bain Capital because of Senator Ted Kennedy. Ted Kennedy was locked in a race 48-46 against Mitt Romney in 1994 on his first foray into politics. Ted Kennedy ended up beating the bark off of him 48-42, and the centerpiece of his assault was Bain. This has been used by Mitt Romney's own competitors in gubernatorial races. It's been used in the Republican primary. So for Democrats to be having a conversation about whether this is fair game is really
But they're having that conversation.
Yeah, and but you asked me my opinion, so you've had some other folks' opinion, so I want to give you mine. At the exact same time, Democrats have been asking the president to fight with one hand behind his back. Mitt Romney's in Nevada with Donald Trump. He lets Ted Nugent make incendiary remarks about the country and the president, doesn't say anything. He lets Rush Limbaugh speak disparagingly about a woman at Georgetown Law, and nobody says anything. We spent 8 days talking about whether Bain was
I don't think that's true that it hasn't been covered.
This is the problem. I mean, we just had, you know, we had Mayor Reed say, talking about something in 1994 that Democrats are still talking about in 2012. We have Neera practically imploring the president to talk about the future and provide his vision for the country. If we had a president who had a record to run on, he would do so. He hasn't. Governor Romney has talked very intently. He's talked acutely about what he would do to move the country forward. The reason that Governor Romney is in the race is to fix the economy. He's made that very clear to every single voter out there who's yet to make up their mind. We don't even know what President Obama would do in a second term, and here we are 5 months away from him asking for a judgment from the American people.
Kevin, I have to say, how does Mitt Romney differ from George Bush? He has his big proposal, which he's endorsed, is the Ryan budget, which would slash Medicare and Medicaid, force 30 million people to lose health insurance. That's to the right of where George Bush was, actually. On taxes,
there are going to be two names on the ballot in November. Yeah, it's going to be President Obama and Governor Romney.
Right.
And I think that's the combination.
I can tell you.
All right, hold on, Alex.
I can tell you how he did.